Jai Hind, dear students. How are you all? I hope you all must be fine and doing great. I also hope that you all will be taking necessary precautions which are required for COVID-19. Please do not step out unnecessarily and study hard, as you all are seeing that your parents, they are really working hard and taking a risk on their life to go out just because of you all. So please study hard, show them some results so that they can feel happy also. Today we are going to discuss the second part of our philosophy chapter, and the second part is also about a poor child who is having a desire, a wish to drive a car. As I told you that our author Anis Jan, she has thoroughly studied about the critical condition of these poor people, in fact the poor children, and she has tried to give voice to them through her writings, so that people, they should know about their condition, how deprived they are, and start working for them. Okay, so she's telling about a character here. Here the character's name is Mukesh. He's a child and he wants to drive a car. That is his wish. He basically belongs from Firozabad, where people, they were into bangle making industry in that work, and how they are suffering, how people they are exploiting them. This all has been highlighted by the author. So without wasting any more time, let's start. So you can see here, the author met a boy named Mukesh who wanted to become a motor mechanic. Okay. Mukesh insists on being his own master. I will be a motor mechanic, he announces. So the author met a boy who wants to become a motor mechanic. Do you know anything about cars? I asked. So what he said? He said, I will learn to drive a car, he answers, looking straight into my eyes. His dream looms like a mirage amidst the dust of streets that fill his town, Firozabad, famous for its bangles. Every other family in Firozabad is engaged in making bangles. It is the center of India's glass blowing industry, where families have spent generations working around furnaces, welding glasses, making bangles for all the women in the land, it seems. Okay, so looking straight into my eyes means with confidence and determination. So this small child who is suffering through all the poverty, which we are going to explore later in the chapter, is having a confidence and determination in his eyes. Looms like a mirage means seems that it will be true in the future, but actually it will not be so. Then amidst, I told you it came in the first part also, that means in the middle of. Glass blowing industry means industry related to making glass. Furnaces, a closed room or container where heat is produced. You all are science students who might be understanding this. Welding, क्या होता है welding? Welding is the process of joining metal or glass pieces by heating them. जब हम heat करके दो चीजों को mix करके join करते हैं, that is called welding. Okay. So the boy was confident and replied that he would learn to drive a car. His dream was far away from reality, and although the boy was confident, he would succumb to the societal pressures. He lived in Firozabad, which was famous for glass industry, glass bangles. The writer felt that the boy's dream would not materialize and gradually get influenced by the dusty streets of Firozabad. She wanted to say that as every family in the town of Firozabad was involved in the glass bangle industry, so would Mukesh do with the passage of time. जैसे सब कर रहे हैं वैसे मुकेश भी करेगा with the passage of time. The same business Mukesh will do. So now let's see. The families had been involved in working at furnaces, welding glass, and making bangles for generations. They made so many bangles that it seemed that they made bangles for all the women of the world. तो बहुत बड़ी इंडस्ट्री है फिरोजाबाद में ग्लास बैंगल मेकिंग में ना. It is famous also. So you would have seen over here what's happening. See, author tells us that Firozabad was the main town of India for the glass blowing industry. The families had been involved in making bangles for generations. They made so many bangles that it seemed that they made bangles for all the women of the world. Author also tells us that Firozabad was the main town of India for the glass blowing industry. You can see here how this is the furnace which you can see here on the screen. Okay. The author also tells us that they did not know. Who did not know? The people, those who are working over there, they did not know that it was unlawful to force children to work in such blast furnaces. If the law would come into force, it would rescue almost 20,000 children from these inhuman places where they often ended up losing their eyesight also. Because working in a glass industry is very risky. A lot of harmful products omit out. You have to concentrate. So sometimes people, they end up by losing their eyesight. Very risky it is. Mukesh was happy as he took the writer to his home. They walked down streets which were full of garbage and gave foul smell. You can see here, this is the place where Mukesh used to see. Exactly, it is not the place. I have gathered the picture. I have I'm giving you an example. Kind of a slum area. Okay, there Mukesh used to live. Mukesh's eyes beam as he volunteers to take me home, which he proudly says is being rebuilt. We walk down stinking lanes choked with garbage, past homes that remain hovels with crumbling walls, wobbly doors, no windows, crowded with families of humans and animals coexisting in a primeval stage. He stops at the door of one such house, bangs a wobbly iron door with his foot and pushes it open. Okay, so beam means shine very brightly. Volunteers means freely offers to do something. Stinking means bad smell. Choked means bad smell. Hovels means slums. Crumbling means falling down. Wobbly means unsteady, which are not stable. Coexisting means present at the same time and place. And primeval means prehistoric. And bangs means to hit. So Mukesh, he was happy as he took the writer to his home. He felt very proud as he informed her that it was being renovated. His house is being renovated. So he was feeling very proud when he said this. They walked down the streets which were full of garbage, you can see here in the picture and relate to it, and gave foul smell. The streets were lined with slums which were unsteady. The walls were falling apart. The doors were unsteady, means they were wobbling. There were no windows and were full of families. Okay? Means many people are residing in one house. Full of families means this. Where people lived along with animals. They reminded the writer of the prehistoric man. पुराना जब हमारा मानव नया नया बना था ना, तो उस टाइम पे आदमी जानवरों के साथ रहता था, उसी चीज की याद आ गई. Mukesh stopped in front of one such door, hit it hard with his foot and pushed it open. Okay, so this kind of a house you can relate here. We enter a half-built house, half-built shack. In one part of it, thatched with dead grass, is a firewood stove over which sits a large vessel of sizzling spinach leaves. On the ground, in large aluminium platters, are more chopped vegetables. A frail young woman A frail young woman is cooking the evening meal for the whole family. Through eyes filled with smoke, she smiles. She is the wife of Mukesh's elder brother. Not much older in years, she has begun to command respect as the Bahu, the daughter-in-law of the house, already in charge of 3 men, her husband Mukesh and their father. Shack means a roughly built hut, you can see here in the picture. Okay, that is called shack. Thatched, covered with dry grass, that is called thatched. Vessel means container for cooking. Sizzling means making a hissing sound when frying or cooking. जब हम कुछ फ्राई करते हैं, कुछ कुक करते हैं तो एक hissing सी sound आती है, that is called sizzling. Platters, large plates. Chopped, cut finely. Frail means thin, very weak lady. Eyes filled with smoke means her eyes are filled with smoke coming out of firewood stove. Okay. Command, respect. She is worthy and so is respected. So you can see here on the screen related with the pictures. The house where Mukesh lived was partially constructed hut. In one corner was a firewood stove made with dead grass. A vessel with spinach leaves was kept on it. On the ground there were more plates with chopped vegetables in them. There was a thin young woman cooking the evening meal for the family, and she was the Bahu of the family. Her eyes were full of the smoke emanating from the stove, but she was still cheerful and smiled to see the writer. She was whose wife? She was the wife of Mukesh, elder brother. Mukesh ki bhabhi thi. She was a responsible person and was worth to get respect from the family as the daughter-in-law of the family. She took care of 3 men, her husband Mukesh and their father. Okay, so please relate. When the older man enters, she gently withdraws behind the broken wall and brings her veil closer to her face. As custom demands, daughter-in-laws must veil their face before male elders. In this case, the elder is an impoverished bangle maker. Despite long years of hard labor, first as a tailor, then a bangle maker, he has failed to renovate a house, send his 2 sons to school. All he has managed to do is teach them what he knows, the art of making bangles. So withdraws means goes back. Veil क्या होता है? घूंघट जिसे हम लोग बोलते हैं हिंदी में. Veil means a piece of fine material worn by women to protect or hide the face, cover or hide. Impoverished, very poor condition, labor, hard work, and renovate means to repair. As Mukesh's father entered the house, the daughter-in-law hid behind the wall and covered her face behind her veil. It was a tradition for daughter-in-laws to hide their face in the presence of the older male members of the family. Still, it is there in some parts of India, this tradition. The elder here was a poor bangle maker. He had worked hard all his life, first as a tailor, then as a bangle maker. He was still not able to either renovate the house or send his sons to school. मतलब इतना कुछ करने के बाद भी he's not been able to do anything good for his family. So the writer is highlighting the poor conditions here through these lines. Okay, focus on that also. He had just managed to teach him the skill of making bangles. It is his karam, his destiny, says Mukesh's grandmother, who was watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polishing the glass of bangles. Can a God-given lineage ever be broken? She implies. Destiny means fate, and God-given lineage means here a profession carried on through the generations of a family. और यहाँ पे कौन सा profession है वो? That is bangle making profession. So Mukesh's grandmother says that he was destined to make bangles as it had been their family profession. The author describes further the environment where these bangle makers worked. They were small, dark hearths They, along with their parents, joined a piece of colored glass into circles called bangles. Many of them lost their eyesight before gaining adulthood. So born in the caste of bangle makers, they have seen nothing but bangles. In the house, in the yard, in every other house, every other yard, every street in Firozabad, you will find bangles. Spirals of bangles, spirals देखेंगे आपने गोल गोल तरीके से जब चूड़ियाँ बंधी होती, that is called spiral of bangles. Sunny gold, paddy green, royal blue, pink, purple, every color born out of the 7 colors of the rain. Lie in mounds, ढेर होता था उनका, in unkempt yards, are piled on 4-wheeled handcarts, pushed by young men along the narrow lanes of the shanty town. Shanty town means a town that is full of small, roughly built huts. ठीक है? Unkempt means not taken care of. So all their life they had just seen these glass bangles. They were everywhere, in the backyard, in the next house, in their yard, even in the streets of the town. There were huge spiral bunches of bangles in different colors. Okay. Further, the writer says that there were bangles in the neglected yards also. They were dumped on handcarts for sale. They were pushed by men along the streets of Firozabad. And in dark hutments, next to lines of flames of flickering oil lamps, sit boys and girls with their fathers and mothers, welding pieces of colored glass into circle of bangles. Their eyes are more adjusted to the dark than to the light outside. They were so used, their eyes were so adjusted to the dark areas, because the rooms where they were making these bangles, they were very dark rooms, dingy rooms, stinking ones. Okay. That is why they often end up losing their eyesight before they become adults. The writer describes the environment where these bangle makers worked. They were small dark huts. The children would sit next to a line of oil lamps whose flames were unsteady, flickering मतलब हिलती रहती थी बार बार. They, along with their parents, joined the pieces of colored glass into circles called bangles. As they spent a lot of time in the dark, their eyes would not adapt to the bright sunlight. Many of them lost their eyesight before gaining adulthood. See the consequences of working in such a young age, at such a young age, in that risky factory furnaces to make bangles. Okay, but these people were helpless. They did not have any other choice with them. Savita, a young girl in a drab pink dress, sits, drab matlab hota hai colorless, faded, sits alongside an elderly woman soldering pieces of glass. As her hands move mechanically like the songs of a machine, I wonder if she knows the sanctity of the bangles she helps make. It symbolizes an Indian woman's suhag, auspiciousness in marriage. Soldering means joining. Tong का मतलब होता है tong means an instrument with two movable arms joined at one end. Just like you have seen chimta na tong, that is. Sanctity means the state of being sacred or very holy. जैसे बोलते हैं हम बहुत pure, holy है. Auspiciousness, good omen. There was a young girl by the name of Savita. She wore a faded pink colored dress. She was sitting with an elderly woman. Her hands moved like a machine, just like the songs of a machine. The writer wondered. Why she wondered? The writer wondered if Savita knew that bangles were sacred. They were a good omen for a woman's wifehood. Okay? Now, let's see. It will dawn on her suddenly when one day when her head is draped with a red veil, her hands dyed red with henna, and red bangles rolled onto her wrist. She will then become a bride, like the old woman beside her who became one many years ago. She still has bangles on her wrist, but no lights in her eyes. So dawn on her means she will realize, and draped means covered. So the writer, she says that she thought that Savita would realize this when she would become a bride, the sanctity of the bangles. and on that day she would cover her head with a red color veil, color her hands with henna, and wear red colored bangles on her wrist. The elderly woman sitting next to Savita also became a bride many years ago. She was still wearing the glass bangles but had lost her eyesight now. So means the author is telling you that in Indian custom, the glass bangles they plays a very sacred role in the life of a married woman. Okay. एक वक्त से भर खाना भी नहीं खाया, she says in a voice drained of joy. She has not enjoyed even one full meal in her entire lifetime. That's what she has reaped. Her husband, an old man with a flowing beard, says, I know nothing except bangles. All I have done is make a house for the family to live in. Seir means a unit of measuring quantity. In ancient time, people they used to have these seir to measure the things. Reaped means whatever we get as a benefit. So there, what writer has observed, Anis Jan, she has observed that there were an elderly woman who was sitting next to the Savita, and she was complaining. What she was complaining? She was complaining that she had not eaten even a seir of food. The woman wants to say that they are so poor that they cannot eat enough food, sufficient food also. That is the benefit that she has received by adopting the profession of bangle making. The woman's husband has a flowing beard, flowing matlab lambi daadi thi, okay, he was having a flowing beard, and he says that he does not know anything other than bangle making. All that he has been able to accomplish, जो कुछ भी वो कर पाया अभी तक, is to make a house for his family to live in. At least उसने घर बना लिया अपनी फैमिली के लिए जिसमें उसकी फैमिली रह सकती है. Hearing him, one wonders if he has achieved what many have failed in their life. He has a roof over his head. The writer wonders that probably the old man has achieved something which many other people have not been able to achieve. At least he has been able to secure a shelter for his family. Okay? The cry of not having money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles, not even enough to eat, rings in every home. The young men echo the lament of their elders. Little has moved with time. It seems in Firozabad, years of mind-numbing toil have killed all the initiative and the ability to dream. Very important. The writer is highlighting the conditions. Rings matlab यहाँ पे it's not अंगूठी वाला rings. Rings means a sound which is repeated continuously. Echo means repeat. Lament, complaint. Mind-numbing refers to boring here, and toil means very physical hard work done to earn living. Okay. Now the writer has observed the problem. And what is the problem? This problem was prevalent in all the homes which carried on the profession. With the passing time, there was no improvement in their condition. They did not know anything else other than bangle making, and it did not even provide them enough to eat. The young man who had entered the traditional profession also had the same complaint. With the passing time, there was no improvement in their conditions. As they had been doing hard work for countless number of years, they did not have any ability to do something else or to dream of it. Even the younger generation, they could not have that much of courage or ability to come out of this circle and do something else. No. They were also, blindly just following the profession of their forefathers. And they also used to complain. The youngsters also used to complain. The writer has observed this. Now see, why not organize yourselves into a cooperative? I asked a group of young men who have fallen into the vicious circle of middlemen who trap their fathers and forefathers. Even if we get organized, we are the ones who will be hauled up by the police. Hauled up means dragged, taken away. And there was a word vicious. Vicious means cruel circle. Okay. So beaten and dragged to jail for doing something illegal. They say. There is no leader among them, no one who could help them see things differently. Their fathers are as tired as they are. Now see, after seeing their condition, after seeing the youngsters are also not doing anything, writer suggests them to form a cooperative. Cooperative means that they should all get together and make a group sort of organization. Okay, she gave them the suggestion. She talked to a group of young men to get out of the clutches of the cruel middleman who had trapped their elders. She tried to tell them that you have been, trapped by these middlemen who are taking undue advantages of your. They ask you to prepare bangle at very cheap rate and then they sell it at a very high cost. The men said that if they dare to do something like that, no, they would be dragged and beaten up by the police and sent to jail. Their acts would be termed to be unlawful. The writer felt as they had no leader, they could not think of doing things differently. Writer felt that they do not have any leader with them. There is no one to guide them. There is no one to tell them what is right, what is wrong, how you have to move out, come out of this situation. So that is why they are not thinking of doing things differently. They all were so tired, the men and their fathers, the youngsters and even the old generation. सबका हाल बिल्कुल एक समान है. They talk endlessly in a spiral that moves poverty to apathy, to greed and to injustice. Listening to them, I see two distinct worlds. One of the family caught in a web of poverty, burdened by the stigma of caste in which they are born. The other, a vicious circle of the sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of the law, the bureaucrats and the politicians. Together they have imposed the baggage on the child that he cannot put down. Before he is aware, he accepts it as it's as naturally as his father. To do anything else would mean to dare, to challenge the current system. और current system को challenge करना is not that easy. Okay. Now see, let me tell you the meanings first. Spiral means here a never-ending continuous process. Spiral, कभी खत्म नहीं होने वाला process. Apathy means lack of concern. Greed, you all know, intense and selfish desire for something, that is called greed. Distinct means separate. Stigma, dishonor. Bureaucrats, government officials are called bureaucrats. Imposed means forced upon. Baggage, burden. And to dare means to do something courageous, to challenge the system. Okay, so the men complained that it was a continuous process. Their poor condition led to lack of concern for their problems. This made them greedy and led to injustice. The writer envisioned, what she envisioned? She envisioned that there were two separate worlds. One was of such families who were stuck in poverty and pressure of doing the traditional profession according to the caste in which they were born. Okay, and she realized, what else? Wait. The other world, she feels like there are two worlds, and the other world is a never-ending cycle of moneylenders, middlemen, policemen, law keepers, government officials, bureaucrats, and politicians. So both of these worlds had forced the young boys to follow the family tradition. The young boys get into the profession and become a part of the vicious cycle even before they realize it. उन्हें पता ही नहीं चलता, उससे पहले वो उसमें ट्रैप हो जाते हैं. If they did anything else, it means that they were challenging these two worlds. Okay? Now let's see. And daring is not part of his growing up. When I sense a flash of it in Mukesh, I am cheered. I want to be a motor mechanic, he repeats. He will go to a garage and learn. But the garage is a long way from his home. I will walk, he insists. Do you also dream of flying a plane? He is suddenly silent. No, he says, staring at the ground. In his small murmur, there is an embarrassment that has not yet turned into regret. He is content to dream of cars that he sees hurtling down the streets of his town. Few airplanes fly over Firozabad. Hurtling down means moving around. Okay, so the boy had not been reared up to be bold so that they could dare to go against the system. The writer was happy to sense that spark in Mukesh. The writer was happy to sense that Mukesh had the, that thing, that spark in him. He repeated that he would be a motor mechanic. He wanted to go to a garage and learn the job. The writer asked that as the garage was at a distance from his home, Mukesh insisted that he would walk up to it. She asked him if he dreamt of flying airplanes also. The boy became silent and refused. He did not know about them as he did not know about planes. Not many planes flew over Firozabad. As he had only seen cars moving around in Firozabad, his dreams were restricted up to them. Okay, so this is all about our second part. What we have get to know from this. Here in the picture you can see that he aspires to become a motor mechanic, Mukesh. And then you can see here Firozabad is the center of India, bangles industry, families have spent generation in that. See the effect, the vicious circle. These are the people who are being responsible for the exploitation of poor people like Mukesh and Sahib-e-Alam. Mukesh eyes are full of hope. He wanted to be different. Okay, that's it. So the author tells us stories of her interactions with children from deprived backgrounds. This is what we have learned. She described their poor conditions and life in an interesting manner. The story touches the reader and is really thought-provoking. The author described two of her encounters with children from deprived backgrounds. Through them, she wants to highlight the plight of street children forced into labor early in life and are denied the opportunity of schooling. Also, she brings out the callousness of society and the political class towards the suffering of the poor. So the first encounter is with a rag picker boy named Sahib-e-Alam, who migrated from Bangladesh in 1971 and lives in Simapuri in Delhi. These rag picker children look for valuables in the garbage, things like a coin or torn shoes. Okay. They could hardly manage some food for themselves. Other things like identity, education, shoes and sports are their unfulfilled dreams. Right? So, and the second encounter is with Mukesh, who belonged to a family of bangle makers in Firozabad. The boy had a dream of becoming a car mechanic. On the contrary, his family was traditionally engaged in bangle making, although the profession harmed them physically and they hardly earned any money out of it. Still, no one dared to dream of doing something else due to the fear of the police and the middlemen. The family elders were content that other than teaching the art of bangle making to their children, they had been able to build them a house to live in. The boy wanted to be a car mechanic. Okay, and because he has seen only cars moving around in Firozabad, he could not dream any further. So this is our chapter Lost Spring, which successfully, very interestingly highlights, shows that these are the children, deprived children, whose childhood has been stolen somewhere. They do not know that uh, the innocence, that what shall I say, that enthusiasm, that jovial nature which children used to have in them. They do not know about all these things. What they know, just to have, just to earn for their family, just to have something for their survival. So lost spring means stolen childhood. For them there is no spring. There is no spring. Every time they are facing autumn only. Okay. So with this, our chapter is completed. I'll be sending you question answers in the form of PTA. I will meet you in my next session. Till then, take care. Do your work regularly and stay safe, stay healthy. Take care. Bye bye.